fine. So yeah, I think it is 3 builds for now. Okay, talking about like the build, talking about like DH's builds right now. So I opened for myself like 3 different builds. The first one is no Spirit Bump. You're dropping 2 Talents. Like 1 Talent is dogshit at all, and second one is Spirit Bump. So you can gain 2 extra Talents, and you're gaining 2 extra seconds on Demon Spikes, and DR from the Demon Spikes. And I like this build because in this build you're just spamming the Soul Cliff all the time. You have like infinite defensives due to single target. You have good single target damage. You have very good clip damage because of this talent you're doing like more damage to the prior mob. And overall damage is a bit lower in AoE, like and overall, but you're doing more useful damage in the case because you're destroying and doing the whole damage through prior mob. Let's say fall. If you're pulling fall everything to the first boss, if you're playing the Spirit Bomb build, you kind of want to press Spirit Bomb here because it will be like a lot of mobs here, right? Like 9 mobs. But at the same time, it will kind of make no sense as long as boss will live longer than the pack, and it's better to just like single target Soul Cliff all the time the boss, and you will be able to tank the pack like longer also because you're gaining 2 defensive talents, and you will do more damage to the boss by itself. So you will probably kill the boss a bit faster, and you will gain time by doing this, right? Around the second boss area, it's always like one mini boss in one pack that you always want to prior. So Soul Cleave will make more sense in my head. Pull number 7. I mean, you will not gain anything as a team if you're killing the blobs insta. So you don't Spirit Bomb here, right? If you're playing with one healer, you want the smallest to leave. If you're playing with the other healers, I think you will not gain any time because you will one-shot the smallest, and after it will be like pure single target. I mean, make no sense also. So it is only pull number 9 where you can Spirit Bomb, and probably it's better to Spirit Bomb. But at the same time, this pool will die in like 2 minutes, right? And probably if you play without Spirit Bomb, you will do like 150k, 200k less damage than with Spirit Bomb. So I don't think it is worth to take 2 bad talents that will make no sense on the whole dungeon in like 32 minutes, and that will make sense only on one pool that will die in 2 minutes even without your damage. So I like this build, no Spirit Bomb build, and I'm playing this in some keys, like in half of the keys. And I'm just like, you know, going by this logic through every key and thinking if I should Spirit Bomb in this key or if it is better to not Spirit Bomb. The second build is the build that Nerf is playing right now, and he's pumping in this build, not gonna lie. He's like doing 320k DPS in the dungeons. This build, I will say, this build you need to focus a lot, and this is like no mistake build, like 0 mistakes build. So you have pretty low uptime on Demon Spikes, you don't have Demon Spikes DR, you still gain Soul Cliff, so you can like Soul Cliff on all those important mobs. Like to gain time, you're gaining like a lot of single target from this talent, but you don't have DR and you don't have 2 extra seconds on Demon Spikes. So in this build, you can't press Demon Spikes whenever you have your meta up. You can be very tanky, I will say, in this build also, but you need to be very careful to not overpress your dev cities. So if you have Demon Spikes up, you don't press your Fell Devastation. If you have your Fell Devastation up, you don't press your Demon Spikes. If you call external, you don't press your Demon Spikes. If you press meta, you don't press your Demon Spikes and all this. So you can't overlap your dev cities. In some bosses, in some dungeons like Wake Rest, you can swap talents around, because for 3 boss you kind of want 2 extra seconds on demon spikes, right? So you can swap the grip, I would say, or something like that, and play around it. You can also play with Soulmonger, but Soulmonger is kind of bait talent, and you're losing a lot of single target. I would say that Soulcliff talent and single target is giving you around like from 7 to 10% single target, so that's a lot. The other build, so probably everyone know about the Chinese DH. His name is Rare. He's the only one who is playing the cheat that build, last resort. I don't like this build. So basically, this is his talents, the talents that he's playing. I was trying these talents. I was very squishy, very not tanky, and I didn't like this build at all. But after I like took a look into this build a bit more, and yeah, I mean this build is probably like not that bad, you know. You can play with this build in some keys. I was testing this build in Everbloom, but I did some changes. So this is like basically his build, but I was watching around that I didn't really make. I mean, I didn't really see the point to take the DR from Demon Spikes and for extra percentage DR passively from the frailty. So I just dropped the frailty talent, and you have like one option, yeah, one flexible option of what you can take. So you can take like 2 extra seconds on demon spikes, so you will not think when to press demon spikes at all, because you will have like 90% uptime in this build. In this build, 90% uptime around it. Or you can take the Soul Cliff talent, because like a lot of single target damage gain, like 10%. So this talent for me make no sense. At the same time, I see this talent, the ADR from demon spikes being very good in some keys. But again, you need to kind of think what you're pressing. You in this build still you can't press demon spikes with the Fell Devastation. If you're changing the DR from demon spikes and taking 2 extra seconds on demon spikes, you just you can overpress. You have 90% uptime on the demon spikes. You don't care. So I'm stuck with 2 extra seconds on demon spikes. So I have one talent flexible. This one. So I can take I can take like single target, or I can take the Soulmonger, even though it is a bait. It will look good in details, you know. Or I can take the DR from Demon Spikes. So more tankier, more single target, more AoE, passive DR. So this talent is flexible. I was playing the Soulmonger in. I think I will play Soulmonger in keys where I feel squishy for more DR, and in keys where I still like need for score and where we don't need damage, and if it is like not Tyra, you know. I played Everbloom 28 with 5 minutes left in this build. You can check my damage, like 303k, not that bad. And this is without Evoker's Scales talent. So with it, it will be like probably like 5k more or something like that, like 5% more. So this is my DPS from the Everbloom. This is my uptime on Demon Spikes, 90%. And this is my HPS. So Soulmonger did quite a lot, but this talent is a bait still. So yeah, I will be testing this cheat death build more. Also about this cheat death build, I agree that if you're playing this build in every dungeon, you don't need cheat death trinket. So you want to play trinket from the Fyrock, the Auguri one, just for damage. At the same time, yeah, still testing this build, not seeing this build being very good in all the dungeons, but I played it in Everbloom and it was like insanely good, insanely tanky, and I like it, and I think I will be stuck with this build in Everbloom.